Hi, I'm Rana Daggubati and I'm on the digital cover of Entrepreneur.
Hi, today at Entrepreneur, we have with us Rana Daggubati, the actor, the entrepreneur, the investor, and the legacy maker of Indian movies. Hello, Rana.
Hi, ma'am. How are
Welcome.
you?
Welcome to Entrepreneur
Thank you.
India.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us here.
And we also have Harsha with us, who has partnered with Rana for the upcoming brand called Loca Loka.
Thank you.
Yes. I think first the founder, because without a founder, nothing happens. I think it's finally, see, we make films, we understand what that is. It's extreme creativity with extreme passion, which will create a product that is outstanding. And I think that rule applies to everything. The more passionate the entrepreneur is, the more organized the entrepreneur is. I think that's something that always comes first in the list. And then second is, what part of this world is it going to change? What culture is it going to address? What can it influence? Or in a manner where saying, okay, now is this it's really not a market size of something, because I'm not a big believer of in size of the market. But you definitely want to be in a growing market rather than something that's going down. So I like the idea of, so I think in these three parameters is where I'll keep operating. So startup, I'm from the movies and everything that we do is a startup.
Correct.
Every time we tell a story, we have a group of lovely creative people come together. We tell a story, it works, doesn't work. We have to go back to doing something altogether very differently. So the idea of startups and storytelling somewhere is very similar.
Right.
And I think about 6 years ago when we started a talent agency and a brand agency together, because we understood the skill set was similar in terms of telling stories. And once I realized that's something that all brands require. There are people in India that make terrific product. They understand very, very deep nuances of what their consumer needs are. But they have a difficulty finding that story to tell or a story to connect with the audience. And I think that was something that I could be of service to. And investing wise, I started investing with everything that could make cinema and storytelling better. So it started with visual effects, which led me into tech, which then led me into building advertising for that tech, and then so on and so forth. So I think it wasn't strategic, but it was organic, the way I kept moving into one and the other. Well, if anybody knows Hyderabad, you'll know bars, you know Harsha. So that's how life works.
No, we all knew each other from almost a decade, I think now. So we've been working on several other projects too. We were discussing several ideas, but this is something which made him very exciting and made us very exciting. And here we are after 2 years of the ideation.
Just to give you an example of how we measure growth through cinema and art is with the growing market globally. Just to give you an example, I'm from the Telugu film industry. Say 10 years ago, we had a market size of $200,000 to $1 million is what a film of a big scale in Telugu would collect. Today, we've crossed a $20 million mark. And it's not just one film, it's multiple films that have done that. So then and with zero marketing. So it was all of the diaspora in India heard whatever in the West heard what we do in India and kind of took that cinema. So I think it doesn't matter anymore where you're from as long as you understand culture, you understand brand. Actually, I had a little experience when I was part of a fund where we invested in alcobev. We invested in some gin and tonic based companies, and we realized India has a strange sense of competition where when there's someone who's just made it, we'll have 8 things that look exactly the same if the process of making it is not hard. If you just take the idea of tequila, it's geotagged to Mexico. You have to be in those highlands to make it. It's volcanic water and agave together which make the tequila they are. Finding palettes that kind of match what is the smoothest tequila that we can make. And I felt like fighting in a market that is already mature I said, let's fight with the heavyweights and we'll know what really to do. And by the time we get into India, we really want to be a global brand that's coming into India rather than the other way around. So I think it's time many more of us do this now.
I always had a thought of why not a brand which can be celebrity led and which can be introduced in India. So I was doing my OPM in Harvard. So when I was doing that in Boston, everyone, every party, every weekend, it's all about tequila. USA is drinking nothing else than tequila. So 50% of the consumption is tequila. So as Rana already mentioned, it is the healthiest of the lot. Like in the alcobev world, tequila is considered to be the healthiest one, lowest calorie. The way it is artisanal and how well they make it, it's a process. So that's all which has been impressed me a lot. And when I started discussing the idea with him, he was like, let's do that thing off. And he was the one like who also suggested that let us have music inducted into the brand. And Anirudh was the first and last choice for us. So it took us like one meeting together to convince him. He was on board immediately, and we started delegating with the brand and started understanding the palettes, and we did a lot of fun stuff, which I think he will be the right person to talk. So, and finally, it took us almost a year and a half to identify the through connects, going there, traveling there, almost 10 to 15 distilleries we have visited, and we shot it down to 3 of them. Then we started tasting the palettes. Then we got back to the master distillers the master distiller whom we have associated is a third generation into making. So it's everything we try to do it in a very specific way so that all the tick marks are there, like authentic, non-additive, 100% blue agave. So it took like almost 18 months from the day we started investing the brand out into the market. So short, this is the story.
It was a beautiful process, really, and the fact that we could share that special memory along with people in the West, I think that was fun. And what was, Anirudh would have been a better person to speak about this, but the idea of Mexico and India, they're two ancient cultures. Both are very celebratory in their nature, and yet there's nothing that's actually fuses both of us. For the matter of fact, there's not great Mexican food in India either, right? So I just feel like it's just the fact that the cultures are far, and we thought America was the best place for us to marry both these cultures. It's right next door to Mexico as well. So hence it was literally an organic start. It was not planned to be that manner, but really the whole thing is set in that process pretty well. So I think it's a combination of stuff. No? You have to be ultimately satisfied with what you built. You don't want to build up that product and let go of that. I'm not in anything for the short term. If there's a product that's built, it needs to last beyond our time as well. So what has been the best so far? I think everything that I've done in my tech world, which I've actually exited, whether it's the gaming world, whether it's blockchain, those have been very successful because I guess they're also very different businesses.
Yeah.
The gaming was with me for about 8 years. So then I had to do an exit. The blockchain was literally a year and a half before we took some part exit. So in that sense, so I think based on industry, it'll change a bit. But right now, I guess that's a Loca Loka is the new entertaining thing and exciting thing that we have going.